Did you know that in 1870s, Japan, getting a haircut could start a riot? When the Meiji government tried to modernize the nation, one of their earliest reforms wasn't taxes, or schools, or military law, it was hair. They ordered men to cut the samurai topknot, the iconic Chonmage, worn for centuries. To the government, it was a small symbol of modernization. To the public, it was a matter of identity, status, and even spiritual power. And for many, cutting the topknot meant cutting away their very soul. Today we uncover the forbidden haircuts of Meiji Japan and how a simple hairstyle nearly tore Japan apart. For centuries, the Chonmage wasn't just fashion, it was a badge of identity. To a samurai, it showed loyalty, adulthood, social rank, dignity. Cutting it off was a punishment, something criminals received. And the topknot wasn't only for samurai. Many commoners wore their own variations, but the samurai version was heavily symbolic. So when the Meiji government tried to abolish it, they weren't simply proposing a new look. They were challenging the entire social hierarchy of Japan. In 1871, the new Meiji government issued a shocking national decree, Danpatsu-rei, the edict to cut hair. The official wording sounded optional, men may cut their hair short. But in practice, it wasn't optional at all. Government officials had to cut their hair. Soldiers were ordered to. Teachers were pressured. Samurai were expected to abandon the symbol that defined their class for 250 years. Why hair? Because the new government saw appearance as a weapon, a way to erase the old Japan and announce the birth of a modern, Western-inspired nation. For many Japanese, seeing a man with a short Western haircut, the zangiri-atama, was shocking. People whispered, "Is he a foreigner? Is he diseased? Has he lost his dignity?" Older generations believed the topknot contained kai, or spiritual energy. Cutting it could weaken the body or shorten life. Some fathers feared their sons would lose strength. Mothers cried when young men returned home with short hair. And in some villages, men who cut their hair were not allowed to attend Shinto ceremonies because their new style was considered spiritually impure. Imagine a world where your haircut decides whether you're welcomed or mocked. That was Meiji Japan. Men with short hair were insulted as Zangiri Yaro, shorn bastard, baka-atama, fool's head. Newspapers published satirical cartoons showing westernized officials with ridiculous, uneven cuts. Even worse, some regions reported street harassment, where gangs of traditionalists jeered at men with short hair, calling them sellouts, cowards, or foreign imitators. Hair became a political statement, a visible sign of whether you supported westernization or resisted it. Yes, haircut riots were real. In 1873 and 1874, records describe violence breaking out in several regions. Satsuma, Kagoshima, samurai gangs patrolled the streets, beating men who cut their hair, claiming they betrayed samurai honor. Tosa, Kochi, radical youths forcibly grabbed men and cut their topknots off in the street. Northern Honshu, villages refused entry to government officers with short hair, fearing they were disguised foreigners. Japan was supposed to be modernizing, but instead the country was fighting over scissors. Not everyone obeyed the haircut order. Famous ex-samurai leaders refused to cut their hair, including Saigō Takamori, the inspiration for The Last Samurai; Beppu Shinsuke, leader of the Shinpūren. Many Satsuma and Kumamoto retainers to them, short hair represented contamination by the West, loss of tradition, loss of the warrior soul. Shinpūren rebels even wrote in their manifestos, "A shorn head is a mark of defilement by foreign demons." To these men, hair symbolized the last battle line between the old Japan and the new. The Meiji state didn't stop at issuing decrees. They launched a full-scale propaganda campaign. Government posters promoted short hair equals civilized, topknot equals primitive, Western hygiene equals modern, Chonmage equals dirty. Schools were ordered to enforce Western grooming. Barbershops became political battlegrounds, even targets of vandalism. The government understood something powerful: change appearance, change identity, change the nation. Despite the national pressure, many families quietly continued old traditions. Young boys still had hidden topknot tying rituals, coming-of-age ceremonies, family hair-binding rites. Some would perform the ceremony privately, then immediately cut it off for school or work compliance. It was a symbolic compromise, a quiet act of resistance. By the late 1880s and 1890s, Japan fully embraced Western grooming. Men wore pompadours, gentleman's part, military buzz cuts. The hairstyle that once caused riots became the new national norm. In just one generation, the symbol of resistance became the symbol of modernity. History is strange like that. The forbidden haircuts of Meiji Japan remind us that modernization isn't just about laws or machines. It's about identity, symbols, and the fight over who gets to decide what a nation should look like. Sometimes the fiercest battles are fought not with swords, but with scissors. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Japan's hidden history, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other episodes on unpopular Japan history.